Exercise 11.1, ninth question. Mother has made laddus. She gives some laddus to Gus and family members. Still 5 laddus remain. If the number of laddus mother gave away is L, how many laddus did she make? Mother has made some laddus. She gives some laddus to Gus and family members and it is given as L number of laddus she has gave away. So, number of laddus given to family members and friends. Is equal to L number of laddus. Then still 5 laddus remain. So, number of laddus remained is equal to 5. So, what is the total number of laddus she made? She made L plus 5. Therefore, total number of laddus is equal to L plus 5. Total number of laddus is equal to L plus 5. Then 10th question. Oranges are to be transferred from larger boxes into smaller boxes. When a large box is emptied, the oranges from it fill 2 smaller boxes and still 10 oranges remain outside. If the number of oranges in a small box are taken to be X, what is the number of oranges in the larger box? What is the question? Oranges are to be transferred from larger boxes into smaller boxes. From a larger box to 2 smaller boxes. So, oranges are transferred from larger box to the smaller boxes and still 10 oranges remain. 10 oranges remain. Then, if the number of oranges in the small box are to be taken to be X number of oranges, here also X number of oranges, then that will give the number of oranges in the larger box. Number of oranges in the larger box. So, number of oranges in the larger box is equal to number of oranges in the smaller boxes. That means 2 smaller boxes plus 10 oranges remain. Therefore, what you have to find? What is the number of oranges in the larger box? Therefore, number of oranges in the larger box is equal to X plus 10. That means how many times X? 2X plus 10. We can add like this. So, 1X, 2 times X means 2X. So, 2X plus 10. Look at the following matchstick patterns of squares. The squares are not separate. The neighboring squares have a common matchstick. Observe the patterns and find the rule that gives the number of matchsticks. So, what is given us? What about the first one? What about the first one? How many matchsticks are used in this? 4. What about the second one? 7. What about the third one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What about the fourth one? 10 plus 3, 13. So, what we can write is, we can write this as a multiple of 3, 3 plus 1. Here it is 6 plus 1, 9 plus 1, next is 12 plus 1. So, we can write this as 3 into 1 plus 1. Second one you can write as 3 into 2 plus 1. Third one you can write as 3 into 3 plus 1. Next you can write as 3 into 4 plus 1. So what is changing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Instead of this, what we can use? We can use a variable. So what is the rule? 3n plus 1 is the rule to find the number of matchsticks. So the first one 4, second one 7, third one 10, fourth one 13, etc. We have written this as 3 plus 1, 6 plus 1, 9 plus 1, 12 plus 1. And we have written 3 as 3 into 1 plus 1, 6 as 3 into 2 plus 1, 9 as 3 into 3 plus 1, and next as 3 into 4 plus 1. So variable means it doesn't have any fixed value. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. That part is changing. That we can give as n, a variable. So the general rule is 3n plus 1, where x is the number of squares. We can take the number of squares. For the first one we can make, what is n? What is n? N is number of squares. For first one square, 3 into 1 plus 1. Second square, 2 squares, what we can take as 3 into 2 plus 1. And third, 3, if you want to make 3 squares, 3 into 3 plus 1, etc. Then next one, this gives a matchstick pattern of triangles. Find the general rule that gives the number of matchsticks in terms of number of triangles. So how many matchsticks are there for making one triangle? It is 3. What about next? 5. Next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So how can you write this? We can write 3 as 2 plus 1, this as 4 plus 1, this as 6 plus 1, this as 8 plus 1, and so on. So we can write 2 as 2 into 1. 2 into 1 plus 1. We can write this as 2 into 1 plus 1. Next as 2 into 2 plus 1. Next as 2 into 3 plus 1. Next as 2 into 4 plus 1. So what is changing here? The second one is changing as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Instead of that, what we can write as 2n plus 1, where n is the number of triangles. So the first triangle, 2 into 1 plus 1. Second, if you need 2 triangles, 2 into 2 plus 1. If you need 3 triangles, 2 into 3 plus 1, and so on. So the general rule here is 2n plus 1.